interesting article, Ruthann. I mean, this is amazing. We did an article on this a couple of years ago with basically female truckers and how they're trained and who can train them and all this other good stuff. But KLLM is at the spotlight this week. Big lawsuit going on. What do you think? Have you heard about it?
Yes, I have heard about it, and I have reviewed what I've seen as far as on one of our fellow news sites. So I have a lot to say on this one.
Well, let's just get into it. I want to read the article, and there's a lot we could kind of break this one down. It's going to be fun.
Okay.
This is concerning trucker chicks. Okay. And I think it's like, if we talk about female truckers, I think it's less than 7% now in the industry.
I haven't really looked at it lately. When women in trucking kind of first opened up, it was somewhere in that.
Yeah, I think it was up to 9%. But anyways, all right. So here's where we're at. Let me get this open here so we can read. Okay, it says the EEOC. I guess that's the Equal Employment Opportunity something Commission. Mm-hmm. It says the EEOC subdued KLLM Transport Services LLC and KLLM Driving Academy. So they went after KLLM and their trucking school.
Right.
Okay. It says on August 5th, which was just last week, in the U.S. District Court of the Northern District of Texas. Now, according to Human Resources Director, the suit outlines the way the company's truck driver training program treated female drivers, unfairly. Now, before we even go into the article, okay, everybody knows that it's a touchy subject. It really is. And people get their little feelings hurt. And I'm just telling it like it is. Okay? So it says the suit outlines ways the company's truck driver training program treated female drivers unfairly. The option to choose a male or female trainer, paperwork requiring the notification of a female driver's husband if the male trainer is used, and male trainer's ability to decline. Now, let's start with this one here. This one's kind of a new one on me.
Yeah, I was shocked when I read that one.
Well, I mean, let's go there.
Okay.
So, I apparently, if you're a trucker, a female trucker, right, and you want to be trained, you opt to be trained by female or male, right? Okay, this is what I'm getting at. If you say, yeah, I'll take a male or a female trainer, it doesn't matter to me. Before you can get in the truck as a female with a male, if you're married, you must notify your husband. And it sounds like, I don't know if the husband had to sign off also. It's kind of different. I mean, it's almost an old-fashioned thing going on. And if you want my opinion, I think it's a good thing. Do you know, honestly and truly, like if you and I were a young couple, which we're not, okay, but if we were a young couple right now, and let's say I'm out there and I want you to team up with me and you go get your CDL, or let's just say you wanted to get a CDL and drive a truck and I wasn't a trucker, I would have an issue. If you were going to be spending a couple weeks in the cab of a truck with a male, I would have an issue.
I think doesn't matter if you're a male or a female. If someone of the opposite sex is in the truck with you, that for training, I think that it is still an issue. Just like if a male, because we'll read down further what it's like for the reverse and what they have to do. But I think it's good that the the female has to say and notify the husband. And I think the main reasoning is, and I could be just throwing something out there for no reason, but it might be because there is such a limited amount of females out there on the road, and that is not the first choice of jobs that a female would do if the man is at home being the main breadwinner. They're going to be doing a different type of job. Women don't go out there and say, you know what, I'm married, I'm going to go ahead and be an over-the-road truck driver and be out 6 to 8 weeks, because KLLM is not a company that stays out 2 weeks. They're true long haul, 4, 6, 8 week to your home type of company. I don't see, women generally are not, and I know this is probably stereotyping of me, but women are the ones that have the babies, not men.
Okay.
Women are the mothers. They don't generally go out and take a job that's going to keep you out that long.
Okay, let's stay on this. Let's stay on the subject at hand real quick. Okay, don't squirrel out on me.
I squirrel. Right, sorry.
Okay, so do you think Do you think it was fair of KLLM saying, "Listen, wives, we need written consent"? I don't know that they were saying we need the husband's permission. We just want, as a trucking company, to know that your husband is aware that you're going to be spending, and I just looked it up, it's 6 weeks. They have I'm looking at it right here, it says the 6-week training program. So KLM actually does an extensive training with their students. Mm-hmm. So subject one is, should the females do you believe that the females should be made to notify their husband that they will be spending 6 weeks in a truck with a husband? With
a man?
Yes.
A male truck, yeah.
I do too. I'm glad you said that.
I do, because it's not just, it's protecting all of them. Mm-hmm. It's not one of those things that, that's just wrong. No, it's a protection. It's a protection for that male trainer. It's a protection for that husband. It's a protection for that company, and it's truly a protection for her too. But I have no issues with it. I honestly see that as being not going against my rights. I see it as a company trying to protect me.
So listen to this. Here, we'll stay on this subject. It says the form also contained a section only for female truck driving trainees, requiring them to formally notify their husbands if they selected a male or no preference trainer, meaning they could end up with a male as a trainer. Mm-hmm. It says, I certify that I have notified my spouse and or significant other that I have volunteered to complete my training with a trainer of the opposite sex. Then it goes on to say the form read, male trainees were not required to fill out a similar section. So if a man is going to be trained by a female, right? Now, I will disagree with that one. Because if you're going to make the female fill out a thing saying, hey, honey, I'm going to be with a man for the next 6 weeks, I think a husband, that's also married should have the same exact obligation to notify his wife that he is going to be in a truck with a female for the next 6 weeks. I don't understand I don't feel there's much of a difference in that respect.
I agree with you. I don't see there being a difference when it comes to the training portion. If you're looking at it as far as being the training portion of it and the protection of it all, a woman could just be as sleazy as a man can be in a tractor.
So now we're going to sex. Is that where your mind was going?
I think that's what a lot of it. I think that's what it is KLM's trying to protect themselves, because they probably in the past had gotten a suit of some sort coming against them where.
Well, that leads me to what you just got into. Do you think that KLLM has enough data, knowing that there's been trouble in the past before when mm-hmm. a male has a female trainee, especially, maybe something happens, the husband gets mad, he's calling in, making threats, whatever the case is.
Whatever it is.
And then all of a sudden the husband's saying, I didn't even know. I thought she was with a female trainer.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I agree, and I think that's exactly what some of it is, like you said, the data or whatever it is that they have. And I think the reason why they don't have as much issue with the men going as a trainee in a female trainer's truck is because there's so few female trainers. And if those female trainers are available, they're probably taking a female trainee. So they probably don't think it's one of those situations of, well, we really don't have that happen, so we don't have that rule up yet.
Yeah, there probably isn't a lot of data where there was a lot of trouble in that respect. But I will say that I have met quite a few men that were trained by lady trainers, you know, and you know, not taking away from them. They, you know,
Yeah.
but the bottom line is the other way around. They got more data with truck. I guarantee you. I mean, like I said, I'm speaking for myself. If you right now were about to leave, you already know me. Would I have a problem with you in a truck for even an hour with a male trainer?
I don't leave my house without someone.
Yeah.
I always have someone with me. How can I go in a truck without someone else being with me? That's just crazy.
Yeah, that honestly and truly. Anyways, so bottom line is, what I'm saying is we, in all sincerity, I almost agree with KLLM on this one policy.
I do.
You know what I mean? Like, they're getting sued for, and I don't know if this is really where the lawsuit comes down to, but I think that out of respect, you know, this is a different, think about all the jobs out there. This is one of those jobs where you're going to confine somebody where there's a bedroom. It's like, it's basically you're sharing a bedroom. If you really think about it, you know, you could call it what you want, but that truck is your home, and that's the trainer's. Now think about it. This is his home, his bedroom, right? Now, yes, she's going to be sleeping on a different bed, okay, but you're still bringing her into your bedroom, and if the husband is okay with it, then that's fine. But I don't think many men would be. I'd be calling you like every 5 minutes. I would be like, hey, what's going on? Hey, I'm trying to FaceTime you here. Hey, I want you to sleep with the FaceTime on, babe. You know, I mean,
Where's that inward-facing camera? We're going to set one up right now.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. So I agree with it. Now,
And you know what? If it came to, because it's a prominently male industry, they're having to take these kind of precautions. But if for some reason, I mean, honestly, there's women out there in a profession where it's prominently women and they might have a male assistant. There is the same situations out there. Like if I was a CEO of a company or somewhere where I had to have an assistant, and the best qualified candidate happened to be a male at that time, and I had him as my assistant, you wouldn't like that either.
No.
The same way I would probably have an issue with you having a female secretary or a female assistant by your side all the time. That's just, it's not a good scenario, and it doesn't matter how much you love your spouse and trust your spouse. It's that other person that can end up making you feel insecure.
but we do agree that it should have been both ways, though.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
for some reason, the husband not having to tell his wife, like, again, let's do the reverse role, like you just said.
I would be like, no.
If I had a female trainer and she wanted to really train me properly, you know what I mean? Properly.
No.
You know, like,
It don't work that way.
give me a proper training.
See handcuffs hanging out.
Yeah.
What kind of training is this?
Yeah.
We're taking it back to medieval times.
Honey, we're pulling an all-nighter. No, I agree. No. So let me go back to this article. It's interesting. There was a couple other things in it that were kind of interesting. Let me go back here. It says, okay, so the option to choose a male or a female, paperwork notifying the driver's female or husband. There was another thing in here. Complaint outlines student truck drivers in the driver academy required to complete a form. Okay. The form also contained a section only for female truck driving trainees requiring them to formally notify their husband. I just said that. Why is it repeating that?
Because down below it says
Okay.
additionally.
Here. Additionally, male trainers were allowed to. Here, this is the other section. Okay. So I babbled. All right. Additionally, male trainers were allowed to decline to train female truck drivers without an official reason. So what do you mean you got to have an official reason? Let me tell you what the official reason is. You really want to know what the official reason is why male drivers don't want to train females?
They don't want to have the
allegations,
any of it.
Sex. Do you want to know something? I've actually interviewed quite a few female drivers, and they literally said that they've had sexual harassment. Now, I'm not disbelieving them, okay? But that right there is a reason why a lot of men don't want to train female drivers, for the simple reason they don't know, okay, what could happen. You know what I mean? Something stupid, maybe a little bit of flirting, and one, and to be honest with you, if you're a male trainer, you shouldn't be flirting. It should be business. That's what you were trained. That's what you were hired to do, to be absolutely, professional, right? I recently was told about a driver that said he didn't want, how could I say this without people getting offended? He didn't want gay people in the truck with him if he was going to be a trainer, right? And he had asked me about it. I said, well, first off, that shouldn't even be a conversation. Okay, it shouldn't be. I mean, I'm not sticking up for anybody here. I'm just saying, in a professional manner, you shouldn't be having those conversations. So a male gets out there with a female, next thing you know, she's cute and he's flirting with her, blah, 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 right? You shouldn't even be having those conversations. It should be all about the safety and the driving and getting that driver their training completed, so that they can go ahead and do what?
Graduate and move on and get their solo position.
Exactly. There shouldn't be, but you see, there's been so many problems when it comes to females being trained by males, and there's no secret. There's been a lot of sexual allegations. So it scares even the good guys into thinking, well, what if I get falsely accused? I'm not saying anybody's going to falsely accuse you, but guess what? This is a real subject. So why should we dance around it and go, oh, okay, that's never going to happen? I can understand. I wouldn't want to train a female for that simple reason that maybe I said something in a nice manner and she took it as me making a pass at her.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Is there's so many people that don't know how to distinguish the differences between someone being polite and someone that is actually going, oh, yummy, I want a piece of you. You know what I mean? They don't know how to, if now I am not generally one that compliments the opposite sex. I've never been that way. But if there was someone that something looked good, like the suit or their cologne or something like that, if they had a cologne on and I'm like, that cologne smells wonderful, what brand is that so I can get it from my husband?
Men would think you're hitting on them. I already know men.
That's what I'm saying.
There's some men listening There's some men listening right now probably going, no, it's not true, but it is very true. If you know how like some people call it somebody honey, or oh, excuse me, honey, oh, but excuse me, sweetie, something like that, right? They'll use those words, sweetie, honey, right?
Yeah, you do it sometimes with people.
Right, I do. Old ladies in the church. Okay, but
I know how to distinguish that you're not being.
But let's be honest. There's a lot of men, not women, but there's a lot of men that would be like, oh, she likes me. I mean, that's a fact. And so you've got this issue of men training females. Personally, yeah, I mean, it does suck, okay, that females are in this situation if they want to become tractor-trailer drivers. But, if you don't take a man trainer these days, you might be waiting 6 months to a year for a female.
I wonder if they should make it kind of like if the companies themselves that want to hire a woman say, listen, I'm more than happy to hire you, but regulation is any female driver has to be a trainer for females when they come aboard, because of how there's not enough female trainers out there for the females that are trying to get into the industry. If that's something that is mandated to where, okay, if you want to be a female truck driver, fine. You have to give your time up to train trainees, though, because there's not enough of them out there. I wonder if that would make a big difference on the influx of female drivers coming into the industry.
I don't know. I really don't. I don't really have a solution for this personally.
I don't think there's ever going to be a solution.
I do agree that KLLM should have had the same waiver signed by the men, also notifying your wife that you're being trained by a female. I mean, that was, to be honest with you, KLLM screwed up there. That was just pretty. You don't make something for one group,
for the man's and not the woman's.
Not in this day and age where people get offended and they sue you for every little thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's exactly why, that's why they're trying to come up with these situations now. And then I also feel as though that if a man doesn't want to train a female for no official reason, I think that they truly have to. I think that they should say a reason. I don't think that it should be, oh, I just don't want to train them. Listen, first of all, when you go on as a company, you could, and you're doing, you say, I refuse to train females. And, they could say, I don't want to train any female whatsoever because I do not want to have anything in front of me that will interfere with my job performance, whether that be a woman that wants to give false accusations, whether it be a woman that I could possibly find attractive. I have a wife and I'm devoted to her. I don't want to have that what's the word?
Burden?
No.
Well, let me say this. I 100% feel that a man should have been able to just say, I don't want to train females without having to make, not make something up, but without having to give his reason. But in all honesty, you could say, I don't want to be tempted. Number one,
that's temptation.
I don't want temptation. Number two, you can also say, I don't want, I think that's probably why they don't want the problems that go along with man and woman. They don't
want to have that
bound together in a truck like that.
No,
and then mine would be
discrimination issues.
Mine would strictly be, it would cause problems in my marriage. And in all honesty, that would be not my main reason. Well, it would be my main reason. But if I was single, I wouldn't want to train females either. I would not.
No, because of the allegations. Listen, when you give a lot of rope to certain classifications of people, you open that door for having a higher chances of the lawsuits.
Look,
I mean, society's proven that. Look at them all.
When I was younger, I was accused of many things that I didn't do. Well, I'm talking about before I met you, even. Just some weird things.
I know. People came up to me and said, "You're dating Troy."
Exactly.
Do you know what he did?
Yeah, like
Do you know what kind of person he is?
People literally accused me of one. I won't even go into it. Just the weirdest things that never happened in my life. Right?
Jealousy. They're just.
So all I'm saying is that would be one of the reasons why I would not want to be a male trainer. Mm-hmm. For the simple reason, I already know what it's like to be accused of something that absolutely was 100% false. Never, ever happened in my life. Yeah. Okay? And again, I don't want to go into what they were. They were kind of stupid, when I was younger.
We all get accused of stuff.
The bottom line is I'm like, that never even came close to happening in my life. And now you would want to put me in a truck with a female trainer or a female student. No, I would decline it. I know there's a lot of good female truck drivers out there because I know this for a fact because I've met them. We had Women in Trucking on our podcast, and they're good people. They really are. In fact, I've often said this: women are usually cleaner. They're usually really good drivers.
They're more details with certain things.
You want to know something? When I've interviewed truck drivers, this is the truth. When I've interviewed truck drivers, males and females, you want the truth? More males would be like, I ain't running the Northeast. I don't go to the north. I don't want to go to mountains. I never heard a female say, I'm not going to do this or do that. They never, it's like they weren't afraid to do anything.
We're not.
But I think what it is females, they have more to prove because it is a man's world. Trucking is.
It is a man's world.
So when a female has more to prove, she gets tough. So again, I'm not trying to stick up for her, but at the same time, I wouldn't train her. Okay. And so there was one other thing I wanted to just mention on here, which was kind of interesting. I'll start right here. It says 2 female truck drivers in training were cited in a case. One of these female drivers says she waited for a month to be trained and was told not all males can train females. We have 22 females waiting for trainers right now. They can, some just choose not to. A second female driver cited in the case indicated that she was comfortable with a male trainer and was subsequently told that her husband must consent before training began. The EEOC used reasonable cause findings back in February of 25, but was unable to reach an agreement. The current suit was filed. Oh, I missed this. There's something in here I missed. So what it is there was a okay, here it is right here. It says the complaint outlines how student truck drivers at the driving academy were required to complete a form stating whether they have a preference for male or female trainer. Again, this is repeating itself, but listen to where I'm going. It says, or no preferences at all for the 6-week OTR training program. The company allegedly maintained the policy that female students who elect to wait for a female trainer will not be compensated while they wait. So, listen, if it takes 6 months for you to get a trainer, we're not paying you while you wait, right? Even though we've already said we've given you a letter of an offer of employment, right? But it says if a male trainer is available, while men who preferred a male trainer would be compensated for the same waiting period if a waiting period was required. Another bad move on KLLM.
That's the one I had the big issue with.
Yeah.
That was the one, honestly, that I had the huge issue with. Because what I'm gathering from that is she completed the schooling portion of KLM.
Yeah.
And now she's going to go from doing it in the classroom to go into the tractor.
Right.
So she did her CDL testing. She got all of that done. She's out of her permit.
Right.
And now going to do that portion. And now she's stuck.
Yeah.
Because she's got her CDL and needs to get those hours underneath her belt to get the job with anybody. And you know as well as I do, when you go to a company that has the in-school training, you have to pay for that training with your driving. 9 months, whatever KLM might be.
You mean working for the company?
Exactly.
Yeah, correct.
So she can't.
So you're already locked in. You can't go anywhere else. That's a very good point. You can't just go, okay, well, I got my CDL, I'll just go somewhere else, because they hold your certificate captive. They will not verify that you even graduated from their school, which trucking companies, if they're going to hire you, they need to see like a 160-hour course. So the company then holds you hostage. Like you said, let's just use a 6-month period.
Right.
Or let's say a 3-month period. Okay, it's going to be 3 months till you get a trainer. Because you're a female and you wouldn't agree to take a male, you're going to go ahead and go without money.
Right.
Right. But if you're a man, this is, again, another blunder on KLLM's part. Big time. Okay. But we'll pay a man to wait, but we're not going to pay a female to wait. Boy, KLLM, honestly, I agree with some of it, but I don't agree with 2 things. Number one, that. Okay, you don't take a man and pay him while he has to wait and tell a female she's up a creek. Right. And number 2, you don't tell a woman she has to get consent from her husband, but tell a man he don't have to. And I got to tell you something. That whoever came up with that policy at KLLM is probably going to be fired, honestly, because of stupidity. And I'm going to say it right there.
When it said about the trainer not having to give the reason, the male trainer not having to give a reason why he doesn't want to train a female. Right. Did it say that it was like...
It just said he didn't have to give reason.
Okay.
He could just decline it.
Okay. Because I thought, for whatever reason, I think I might have thought it differently, that they were... I think I thought differently on that.
No.
Whatever it was, because
again,
I don't have a problem with them declining it.
I don't either.
And I don't have a problem with them giving this full description of it. I think that they have the right to decline doing females.
Absolutely.
And I think that in the very beginning, when they do the, when you come aboard and you're like, yeah, I'll be a trainer, and you start your training paperwork, as far as saying that you're going to be a trainer for the company, I think right there is where it would say, I will never train a female.
Right.
Or as a female, I'll never train a male. I think
that might be.
I think at the very beginning that it should be said that way. That way there's no issues down the road. But if for some reason it doesn't, and they ask them down the road, they should have no issue by saying, I don't want to train a female because of whatever reason they want to give. Or no reason at all, but I think that the company, I think they should at least say something. I guess because I'm a person who always wants to defend myself.
Yeah, no, I'm just wondering why we came back to this one. So
because I realized
because you got buggy.
No, because when we got down,
that's one of the reasons I wouldn't want to train a female right there. Because I'm like confused listening to them.
No, I think what it was is my head thought that they were getting in trouble because they didn't want to give a reason.
No, I don't think so. I don't think them. In fact, if that was the case, then KLLM, when you sign up for as a trainer, would probably have to have a waiver in there saying we need reason why, you don't want to train females.
Yeah, and I think that's why my mind went back to there, because I thought, wait, I think I misunderstood that whole area of the issue.
And by the way, the guy that said he doesn't want to train gay people, okay, he's not a trainer anymore because of stupidity. It's like this is what I'm saying. You don't, if you're going to be a trainer, okay, and you elect to train anybody, okay, you cannot discriminate unless, okay, in the very beginning you say I don't want to train females, but there ain't no way you could say I don't want to train a gay person. I'm just saying you can't say that. If you said that, now you put, let's use KLLM for example. KLLM cannot say to a student, are you gay? You know what I'm saying? Because we have a trainer that's going to discriminate against you.
Yeah, what's your sexual preferences?
Exactly. That was the dumbest thing that guy could have said.
Well, I can understand that being, I want to say unethical of him to say it that way.
Yeah, I mean, you're only inviting.
You're inviting an issue.
Well, you're inviting an issue, and your company is never going to cross-examine people as they come in.
No,
like that,
because that's a Privacy Act there.
Yeah.
But I think that if you took a driver on that was a man, and you're driving down the road, and he starts spilling his sexual preferences out to you, and it made you feel uncomfortable, I think you have every right to get him out the truck.
Well,
the same with a female.
Yeah, exactly. If I had a female hitting on me, I wouldn't take a female with me.
I didn't say a female.
Okay.
You just totally didn't hear that.
All right, let's get out of this subject. Moving on. Actually, let's go ahead and do a couple sponsors real quick. Hey Bubba. Tell me about Hey Bubba.
Hey Bubba.
Hey Bubba. Hey Bubba. That's a cool name, ain't it? Hey Bubba.
I love saying Hey Bubba.
The best AI dispatcher on the market. He can book, literally, if you had 1,000 trucks, Bubba can book all your truckloads all week long. Literally, that's how good Bubba is. And Bubba can pre-dispatch everybody. It's crazy. Bubba will negotiate. And what I love about it is, this is how confident they are. First 90 days is free. You have an MC number or a DOT number, sign up for Hey Bubba or Bubba.ai and write in and tell us how amazing Bubba is, because we've already been hearing the stories. And we also have another sponsor, Truck Parking Club. Great people. I keep telling people, some drivers tell me they don't want to pay for parking. I get it. I never paid for parking. Well, actually, I did one time. But here's what I would say. There's going to be times in the Northeast, in this country, it's getting more and more crowded, where you're going to need parking in a pinch. And that's what it's there for. You sign up is free. You can find yourself on a load someday where you're out of hours. You know you're going to get in trouble if you don't find a spot. Boom. You go on Truck Parking Club. In seconds, there's a secured parking space within a mile of you. You pull, it's done right on your phone. You pull in, and maybe it costs you $10 or $20, whatever, but it's a well-needed, boom, you're taken care of. It's something to sign up. And also, if you're an owner of land, sign up, because they need more spaces, and they'll rent out your space for you.
What I think is also really good about Truck Parking Club is when they sign on the property, they make sure that it's nothing sketchy or making it, like difficult for them to. They don't want a driver to be parking there and it be a difficult place to be.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Like they check it out. They make sure that it's something that's a good place.
All right, moving on.
Moving on.
Okay, you got the word of the day?
I do.
What is it? What's the word of the day?
Hold on. I get the ads pop up when I'm not playing on it. Ready?
Go ahead.
Habituate.
Habituate?
Habituate.
Oh, habituate?
Habituate.
Habituate.
What is, I don't even get a
Well, habituate.
habitual offender. Is that,
Okay, so if you want to break down the word,
give me the definition.
make or become accustomed or used to something. Habitual. You had almost half the definition. You had it kind of
So
clear.
what was the definition one more time?
Make or become accustomed or used to something. So you know how sometimes when we have to drink carrot juice and that first swallow or so, it can be, some people could go, ugh. But once you get accustomed to drinking the carrot juice, you're like,
See, this
isn't bad.
is where my wife will drive people nuts. There's a million people going, what do you mean drink carrot juice? I've never drank it in my life. I don't have to. It's if you have a ulcer or anything like that, carrot juice is actually a natural healer, and I can testify to it. That and fermented cabbage juice. You don't tell people what the reason is. You just say carrot juice, and they're all going, what is she talking about? Anyways, we're out of here.
Peace.
Peace. Praise the Lord.